actually. We have met once or twice before.
Once or twice indeed.
Yeah. So we're sat here in the beautiful Finolhu Dive Butler Dive Centre. Today, as you know, is PADI Women's Dive Day. And as our venerable leader, many women in the industry, I wanted to take this opportunity to ask you a few questions.
With pleasure.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
So let's start at the beginning. So now you have been overheard more than once to say that women make better dive instructors. Can you explain this?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I believe so in many different ways. I think, and apologies to all my male colleagues, instructors out there, I do believe there's great male instructors as well. I do believe that women make, in general, better instructors and better divers, actually, because they're more in tune with their emotions. And I believe in order to be a great instructor, you have to have a lot of compassion and empathy. And you need to be able to liaise and relate to people in a different way, where that's non-aggressive, where the ego gets out of the way, where you really, again, go with empathy and attune yourself to the person's feeling. So, for a lot of people, diving is a scary thing. So it's very primal. It's like going. Also, a lot of people say it's like the ocean is like a woman, a mother, who spends 9 months of her life in our mother's belly, which is the same saline environment that the ocean is. And you often see people put some quite strong emotions coming, and in order to liaise with that and relate with that properly, I think women are better at it. I prefer to be taught by a woman, personally.
I think that's very progressive. I think, there are a lot of men who might not agree with that statement, but I certainly do. I've worked with some fantastic female instructors as well as male, as you said. So, okay, very interesting. So, on that note, was it because of a female that you were introduced to the dive world?
Actually, no. It was very interesting. It's one of those things. A lot of people have wonderful dreams. They say they've watched Cousteau when they're a kid. They said they always wanted to do that. For me, it was kind of a turn of circumstances when I started diving. One day I kept walking by dive schools, and I thought maybe one day I'd like to dive. And one day I had the time and the money to do it, and I wanted to dive school. And it was in Vancouver, and it was a place called Greg's Diving Locker, and it was a machine. You were sold a mask knuckle and fins, and it was very busy. And this said, it was not because of a woman who started, but during the course, what they do is they do team teaching, where you would swap. And I remember one dive instructor, a male dive instructor, absolutely terrifying. He was a complete, excuse my language, but a complete ass. And every time he'd ask me to do a skill, I'd go blank because I was terrified of him. Whereas when there was a woman instructor, and I can't remember her name, unfortunately, she was fantastic. And every time I was praying, please put me over, because she was so gentle, so she could relate. She could see that I was very nervous, because I was a very nervous student. And she allowed me to go through my fears and to become a diver. And so there was a woman involved, but there was not the reason for it.
Okay, so she gave you that sort of reassuring presence.
Absolutely, I absolutely needed that.
Okay, fine. That actually leads on to the other question I was going to ask you, which was, were you taught to dive by a female instructor?
So yes,
partly.
And I wish it was 100%.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you, so now as a business owner, as the managing director here of Dive Butler, do you try to make it one of your policies to employ more female diving instructors?
Well, that's an interesting question. I believe that a ratio, and some people might quote me on this and might make comments, I prefer a ratio that's slightly higher woman, say 55%, 45%, or 60-40. Guys, testosterone tend to be less heavy, there's a more relaxed atmosphere. Too many women in a dive center or in any environment, I don't think is healthy. Too many men, I don't think is healthy. So a balance, a slightly higher percentage of women, and this is purely from an energetical point of view. And I believe, in a number of things that are maybe not common, but I believe the energy and the vibes are better. To find female instructors in general can be challenging because, again, it's a male-dominated industry. So it's more difficult, it's more challenging to find great dive instructors. And also, as you are a dive center manager working in our company, I mean, there's 2 other dive center managers in the company, and all of them are male, right? It's not out of preference, it's simply because who has the skill sets and in numbers, purely. It has nothing to do. Yeah, I would like to have more women working in that company actually. And in fact, when people say I'm the managing director of Dive Butler, I am. But there's a co-founder, and it's my wife, and Claudia. And although she's perhaps a little bit more quiet than I am, she's very much involved in every aspect of our dive business. And there's no way I'd be where we are today if it wasn't for her. So a woman's touch is definitely in Dive Butler. Very strongly present.
Yes,
There's a sense of community, a sense of support. Claudia is often called the mother, right? Mm-hmm. Not just by her daughter.
I have called her that myself more than once, yeah. So do you feel then that women are treated fairly in the dive industry?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we make it a big point within Dive Butler. I can only answer from our world. I believe that we treat everybody equally and fairly. There's no discrepancy in pay. There's no differences in benefits. There's no at all. And if there is, it's self-made by the individuals themselves, not by the company structure. So we don't believe in different creeds, religions, color of skin. Yeah, I think we're really a true equal opportunity employer. In general, in the dive industry, is there? Yeah, well, I can see that it's a male-dominated industry, and therefore certainly affects. And it's not just a male-dominated industry. I mean, let's be fair here. It's a male-dominated world still. Just recently, I can't remember if it's Sweden or Norway or Finland, but one of these Scandinavian countries have made it law that women cannot be paid less than men. I mean, it's a fantastic step towards true equality. And let's see how that goes, because I'm certainly a great supporter of that. Yeah. So call me a feminist if you like.
Nothing wrong with a man being a feminist. I'm all for that. So where, as a male feminist, where has been your favourite place to dive with ladies? Maybe with Claudia?
Well, we've been very fortunate that we've had the opportunity to dive in some very remote areas. I'm a big fan of the Pacific in general. Okay? And so we've done some amazing yachting trips there. I really love South Fakarava Pass in French Polynesia, where you're surrounded. You're a shark lover, I'm a shark lover. 300, 400, 500 sharks, and you're all within arm's reach. It's amazing. So French Polynesia is one on my top of my list. Some dives in Indonesia are absolutely out of this world. Raja Ampat is one of the dream trips I've done. Even Mont Mary, Alor, Komodo, East Flores, West Flores, all beautiful sites. I absolutely adore Palau. I think it should be on the top of every diver's, regardless of gender, top bucket list divers.
Yeah. I like that one on my list as well. And what's the best thing you've seen while you've been diving?
Well, again, because of my love for big things, sharks is on the top of that list. I love whales. Whales that I've had the opportunity to do a few times today with humpback whales. That's an amazing experience. It's very emotional, actually. When you feel the song of the whale whilst underwater, it vibrates through your entire body and soul. And that's absolutely touches me. I remember thinking, oh my God, if I die right now, it's okay. I will have felt everything I need to have felt. Again, the sharks. So in the pursuit of seeing more sharks and hopefully a higher population of sharks, I would like to see more.
Okay. So what's your bucket list then? Where haven't you dived that you would love to?
Well, I think the Pacific is well underrated in the dive industry. People see the dive industry is a funny thing. It's a bit of a dinosaur in my opinion. Is that we evolve from an equipment perspective, but we don't go into the psychology and the emotions of diving, which are just as important, if not more important. Obviously, you need good equipment, you need a compressor, you need safe air, you need and so forth. I get all that, and you need to continue to evolve that element. But the psychology and the emotions and the energetical element of diving is, in my opinion, should be really put more forth. What was your question?
Where haven't you dived?
Where haven't I dived? So I think the Pacific, the coming point on that's what I was just sharing right now. I think the Pacific comes across in all the brochure, and it's been the same for the last 1 year.
Sure.
Okay, so you open your brochure, it's the same story, it's the same approach, and I think that should shift. We should find new ways to share the passion. Actually, the diver certification generally worldwide is not as much. People don't dive as much. I think that, and here I'm slipping some stuff, but this, for example, is our biggest competitor.
Yeah.
I think to the screen, divers don't dive as much as they used to.
They can see everything on YouTube.
Exactly. And I think that this is, I call them stupid phones, not smartphones. And therefore, I think I would like to really explore the Pacific more. I'd like to explore Indonesia more. There's 17,000 islands there. I'd like to explore French Polynesia more. I'd like to do the Galapagos as well. I'd love to do Cocos. I was supposed to do it this summer, but that got cancelled. So there's so many. And the beauty about diving in general is that whenever you arrive somewhere, you always hear about this other place that you can go. So the bucket list keeps on growing, actually, as you take through your existing one.
Yeah.
So I don't have one spot. There's many.
Nothing wrong with that. As long as we have enough time to do it all.
Exactly.
It's fine. So to you, obviously, today is PADI Women's Dive Day. So what are the benefits to you of having PADI Women's Dive Day?
My answer is a bit complicated and it's very philosophical because in general, I believe that we're harming our planet immensely. We call Mother Earth, we call the ocean, we give her a she, and she's female gender in general. I think we are approaching the way we deal with the environment from a very male point of view. I think the disregard for the environment is a very male perspective. I have a beautiful daughter. She is 13 years old, and she just completed a rescue a few days ago. And I just hope that she is going to be able to see all the beautiful things I've seen. That's very selfish kind of point of view. Really inner circle, your family, obviously, you want them to have a great life. Overall, I think that every day should be Women's Divers Day, and I think that's very important that men get onto the bandwagon, so to speak, and give more respect to the planet we live on, and to the women that have brought them to this world, to the women around them, and in general, just give more love, share more love, and be equal in your distribution of that love. So I think that be above and beyond just getting women together to dive, that's all great. I think it's a good pivoting point that if we celebrate the female gender more in all its forms, it will make a positive impact on the world today. So that's where I stand on that.
So you heard it here first, folks. So Women's Dive Day should be every day, and women are going to save the world.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, Alexis, thank you very much for your time. It's been a very enlightening conversation. Thank you. And keep on diving. Happy Women's Dive Day.
Happy Women's Dive Day.
Thank you.
Or PADI.